told about helping to build rapport, but there are other ways also to build rapport.
For rapport spelling, there is a mistake.
It's okay, sir. No problem, sir. Rapport. So how is being mentored is better, mentor a better strategy? How is being mentor a better strategy? So can you explain about developing mentoring skills?
Sir, and one more thing, don't forget when the meeting has started and when all are present, that collage model, a few photographs.
That we can. That we can. Oh, Miss Shilpa. Miss Shilpa, are you there? Today they are busy, sir. They are in Chennai. Actually,
Oh,
whole team
oh,
is in Chennai. So that's what they are. They said prior only. Today, to extend the maximum support, it is little challenging.
okay, okay.
Miss Shilpa, are you there? Okay, she will do, no problem. Otherwise, I can also try.
There are people waiting, 5, 6.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Waiting. But 6 o'clock, sir, now.
Yeah, yeah,
So
it sits, exactly sits.
anyway, we'll wait, sir, another probably five
Yes.
minutes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
5 minutes we'll wait, sir. Quorum required, Allah, sir.
That is true. That is true.
Otherwise, it is difficult. Hmm? Oh, she has allowed. Hello,
Yeah, starter.
Miss Shilpa. Hello. Hello. I think she has allowed. Hmm. I think they are there. Okay, the participants, good participants. They are all scholars, sir. Those who have joined for the
Oh,
session.
okay.
I could make out. I can recognize the educators and the teachers, the leaders. I could see. So let's wait for a few more
Yeah,
minutes,
yeah, no problem. No problem. We'll
dear
wait.
participants. So glad that you are on time. You value time. We should appreciate from United Nations volunteers. Excuse. Hello, Amma, you allowed Alma. We could have waited Okay, sorry, dear participants. Excuse, a few minutes to go for our webinar to start. Today's session, you are all aware of. Would like to say it again. The topic for today's webinar is metamorphosis. A metamorphosis. This is a session on the importance of transforming yourself from the conventional teacher to a new age mentor. It's a wonderful topic, probably need of the hour, as we all know, dear participants. The need of, from traditional or conventional, the teacher, to new age, the mentor. I should say the new age mentor, when it comes, should have all 21st century skills, as we all know. Dear participants, glad that across India, I could recognize few principals, academicians, and the UN, that United Nations designated school, the leaders are there in the session. Uh, anyway, a few minutes, we are going to start the session. Our the today's speaker, Mr. Rajesh, HR mentor and the director of CEST. CEST, dear participants, as we all know, it is one of the Kerala's fastest growing HR consultancy. This is Kerala's, the God's own country's fastest growing HR consultancy. He is the speaker today's the session. Probably Rajesh sir, are you there? Rajesh sir?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. The speaker is ready. Glad that the speaker is ready, and all the luminaries of the education industry are ready. So what else required? So let us start the session, dear ladies and gentlemen. So now this webinar, for your information, webinar is hosted from United Nations Volunteers India. So the existence of this United Nations volunteers in India, this association probably under it works under United Nations, India's the branch, and it is constituted from the Puma Education Trust from Chennai. And the founder, as we all know, our favorite and a good educationist, mentor, and as well as a motivator, Sri Aziz. He is the one who founded this Puma Education Trust. And through this trust, this United Nations volunteers started decades ago, and now having the members in this United Nations volunteers are more than 2,000 volunteers across the globe. Glad to share this, dear participants, and spread this message. More and more people should join this movement, I should say, in India through United Nations. And as we all know, 17 sustainable development goals set by United Nations. And today, one of the goals we are focusing today, that is leave no one behind. This is one of the 17 sustainable developmental goals we have taken, and we have planned this webinar. The theme is, dear participants, it is metamorphosis. Metamorphosis, a session on the importance of transforming yourself from the conventional teacher to new age mentor. And the takeaway, if you see the takeaway from the today's session, see today's the focus is on, and of course the takeaway, the first takeaway is understand the importance of being a mentor, understanding the importance of being a mentor. And the second takeaway, why and how to guide your students for higher education. Many you are aspiring for, and there are many ways. As we all know, probably the number of, if we see, hundreds of avenues are there. Probably today, with the limitation in the time or paucity of the time, probably few areas today's speaker is going to focus upon. And the third takeaway, understand how to equip yourself for implementing national education policy fully. Very important, dear participants, how you can understand how to equip yourself subject-wise, that too subject-wise, for implementing national education policy fully. And the fourth one, dear participants, how to gain respect of students and parents by mentoring your students. This is the fourth takeaway. And the fifth takeaway is understand how your mentoring at school level will guide the child to reach career heights. I think this is most important part, the career guidance. I would appeal to all to start this at least from class 8, this career counseling session. I think today's speaker, one who is running a company, it is CEST. You can take up his association. Definitely, it will be a boom, big boom for your organization. Need of the hour, and through there are different tests that today's trainer through it is scientific way he is doing, using multiple intelligence test assessments and psychometric tests. Through that, he is giving career guidance for all the students. And today's about speaker, dear participants, he is from hails from Kerala, the God's own country, and he is a HR mentor and director of CEST, as already mentioned, and having a master's in business administration and also having master's in psychology, and he has done over 3,400 training programs both inside India and abroad. You can see his rich experience. Definitely it add value to the today's session, dear participants. And he has done over 700 career guidance sessions and conducted 102 train the trainer programs. Probably it is very challenging as a trainer, but he is the one who trained the trainers that programs. And the programs, his programs have been broadcasted by Doordarshan Malayalam, All India Radio, and Club FM regularly, and conducts personalized career guidance for class 10 and 12 students using multiple intelligence test assessments. Dear participants, he is not only focusing class 10 and 12, even if need be, class 8 onwards, he is ready to provide the service. So now with this introduction and with the welcoming our the today's speaker, Mr. Rajesh T. Sir, hearty welcome to you, sir. Thank you so much. Your presence. I think this is the session we are associating. Probably this is the fourth webinar on the same platform, and his experience and expertise definitely add value today to the session.
True.
Welcome to you, sir.
Thank you.
A few more I should welcome. That is Mr. Sri Aziz, sir. Welcome you, sir. I think today, dear participants, so he is busy with the United Nations volunteers meeting. Probably he did not join. He may join anytime. So in his absence, I welcome him. and all the educationists, UNV, United Nations Volunteers leaders, principals, academic coordinators, and teachers, probably facilitators, you are all here. So on behalf of United Nations volunteers, I extend warm welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for joining, and definitely what you have given the time now invested, you have invested time today. Definitely it is add value and lot. It will be productive, dear the participants. Without wasting our time, I hand over I over to that Rajesh sir. Please, sir. Sir, did you open anything, sir? Did you share anything?
No, sorry.
It is Allah. It is showing, sir. It has displayed. Oh, someone else. You are weaving Lavanya's whiteboard. I think someone has.
Yeah, someone else has done something. It's not me.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Sir, before that, sir, dear participants, few announcements would like to make. Please don't disturb in between, like sharing the screen. My humble request to all of you. And if at all any questions, we will have it at the last. Please put it in the chat box. Your question, definitely we'll pick it up, and we will the trainer will give you the answers for your queries. So, and let us have very productive time. Now over to Rajesh sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Dear participants, I hope I am audible and I am visible too. You need not open your microphone. Just a thumbs up will do.
Yes.
Whether I am visible or and audible, both.
both, sir. Both, sir.
Fine. Okay.
Fantastic. Fine. Yes, sir.
So, first and foremost, Ravi sir, thank you very much for the fine introduction.
Yes,
now,
sir.
To the participants, you might have seen how diplomatically Ravi sir has communicated that he and all of you are expecting a very productive session. So he has indirectly communicated that is the first take-home message we all should be taking. How diplomatically you can inform the speaker that the session has to be productive.
Yes.
It's a good message from Mr. Ravi sir. Now, yes, sir. Now let's get into the session, because we are just going to have a half-an-hour session only. Then we'll have a discussion wherein you will be asking queries, and we can have a productive discussion too. And as he has informed, myself, Rajesh, I am from Thrissur, Kerala. Okay. Thrissur is supposed to be the cultural capital of Kerala. Okay, fine. Now, we have been discussing about the NEP right from 2020, and it is 2024 now. Several schools have implemented NEP in different stages, depending on the school's management, and even the state-wise there is a difference. The implementation part, it's a true fact. I travel across South India, so I do know this. Okay. But the problem is that when all of us are discussing about NEP, the changes that are going to happen, the way we are going to conduct the assessment, how the classes are going to be, there will not be a 10th standard board exam, all these things are there. But have we ever focused on, are we, the human capital, the teachers, equipped enough to implement NEP 2020 fully? So that's the main question which was haunting me. And that was the reason why myself, Ravi sir, Assis sir, Ramendran sir, we all discussed these things regularly. And we came to the conclusion that this is one part which needs focus, because the other things, CBSE is running so many programs. All of you are knowing those things. Stability trainings are also being organized. ICSE is running several programs, etc. But to equip yourself, yes, we do conduct teachers training every April, May. That is the. But isn't it the regular one? Have we ever focused on developing ourselves into mentor? Yes, few schools might have. I'm not saying all schools, but have we given a serious thought? And second thing, as teachers, I mean all the teachers, put in a dedicated effort to transform themselves. So this is something the school management, the principals, and the teacher community as such has to think about. Why? Honestly speaking, the job is at stake. I'll be very frank with you. Your job is at stake if you do not become a mentor in the next 1 or 2 years. If NEP 20, sorry, I am not saying if, when NEP 2020 gets fully implemented, especially the class 9, 10, 11, 12 teachers. I'm not saying others need not focus, but 9, 10, 11, 12, it will be visible if you are not equipped. Okay, now let's discuss why. Why change? Now, the first point is change in the students' needs. Isn't there a change in the students' need? When we studied in class 10, I still remember I passed my class 10 in 1990. We did not get any career guidance from the teachers. We finished on 1990. There wasn't plus 2 in Kerala at that time. We had pre-degree. In some places, it is pre-university, right? So we joined college, we just studied and we grew up. That's it. But there is a change in students' needs nowadays, especially so with the introduction of internet. Students are well equipped. They know so many things. And now with AI being introduced, with apps like ChatGPT being introduced, they get all the knowledge. So the need of the student is there. And as conventional teachers, knowledge downloading alone, I'm using the word downloading. It's a typical word we should be using nowadays. Knowledge downloading alone will not be enough. You need to act as a mentor. Otherwise, you are not going to be respected by the students. The change in the students' needs is there. That's the first point. The second point, to help students prepare for future. Let's discuss this in detail. To help students prepare for future. Now, there are several teachers sitting over here, physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics, English, history, geography, whatever, right? Now, suppose a student of class 10 comes to you and you are the physics teacher and asks you, sir or ma'am, if I take physics, chemistry, mathematics, and computer science, what are the options before me after plus 2? I'm taking physics, chemistry, mathematics, computer science in plus 1. What are the options before me in plus 2? How many of you feel that they can give at least 10 to 12 options? I'm talking 10 to 12 options. What are the general options you give? You can tell that, okay, you can go for engineering, or you can go for any polytechnics related something. You can study physics. And what do you become after studying physics? You can do research, you can get into teaching profession, you can be a physicist or a scientist. Any other area? How many of you are equipped enough to talk of nanophysics, astrophysics, all these things? And that is where the students expect you to guide them. Because from class 9 onwards, and I would rather say, as Ravi sir told, from class 8 onwards itself, you need to mold the students at least on the subject you are teaching. I'm not saying every teacher should become a career consultant or a career guide who can give guidance on all the subjects and all the things. No, that isn't needed. But at least on the relevant subject you are teaching, you need to be the authority to guide rather than depend on an external consultant. I'm not saying you don't hire an external consultant. You can hire them for a class or something like that. Look, those people like me, we visit the campus once, we give a class guidance, we give a career guidance, maybe 2.5 to 3 hours. We talk to the students, we talk to the parents, then it's over. But the productive time of the students is not spent at home, is not spent with people like me. It is spent with people like you, the teacher community. And that is where you as a teacher should be able to impart knowledge regarding every aspect of your subject. I'm not talking of a bookish subject. I'm talking of how the different career prospects are there on that particular subject. And that is where you will be able to design the development or design the progress or design the career growth of a student. It has to start from class 9, 10, 11, 12 itself. No, not 11, 12. I would rather say 9 and 10 itself. Because if you do not do this, I have seen numerous students who after plus 2, they decide, sir, I have taken physics, chemistry, mathematics, and computer science. I want to change because I don't see any future for me in this. I have taken commerce. I don't see any future for me in this. I have taken bioscience and I don't see. Why? Because they took that particular subject without any proper guidance. And once in class 11, they realize that this isn't the correct subject for them. it isn't the correct subject which is matching with their intelligence. As Revisa told, multiple intelligence tests, we assess the different types of intelligences: logical intelligence, naturalistic intelligence, interpersonal intelligence, intrapersonal intelligence, etc. And if that intelligence is not matching with the subject of the student is studying, obviously the student will find it difficult to study. And obviously the student will not have a liking for the subject. And the student will not see any career in that subject. You might have seen in each of your states how so many dropouts are there in medical colleges, how so many dropouts are there in engineering colleges, in all the professional colleges. Why? Because post +2, many of them opted for a stream in which they did not have any aptitude or an intelligence matching with that. And we can very well say, look, it is a student or the parent to be blamed. No. Touch your heart and say, as educators, as HR mentors, as teachers, don't we also have an obligation to guide them? I personally feel yes. So it is here that you should be playing the role of a mentor and guide them. So why change, if you are going to ask me? In order to guide them, in order to shape their career progress, you need to change from a conventional teacher to a mentor. Third, to build better rapport with students. Look, this is very important. Now, suppose the student who is well-versed in ChatGPT, he has checked everything about one particular subject. And he finds out that the teacher who is teaching physics or maths or history or whatever isn't as knowledgeable as he himself or she himself, because this child has checked everything with ChatGPT. And all the information which he has got about that particular subject, the teacher is not able to impart even 10% of that. Now, suppose if there is a condition like that, obviously, there won't be any rapport between the teacher and the student. Though not only that, the student will not have any respect to the teacher, because that teacher is only teaching what is in the book. Other than that, the other aspects, the other career prospects, that teacher isn't able to guide. In such a scenario, it's obvious that the student will lose a belief, a respect towards the teacher, and that will be clearly reflected. Now, this is where I told you the job is at stake, because these things, you all know, in schools, these things spread. The student passes on this information to a couple of friends. The friends, that students, they pass on to their parents. This spreads like wildfire, and it is going to affect the reputation of the teacher also. So I'm not saying it will be happening in 2025 or 2026, but after 2 years, it is sure to happen if you do not change yourself from a conventional teacher to a modern age, new age mentor. So this is so important. That is why we, in the UN Volunteers India team, we discussed all this, and we were very clear that this should be provided to the teachers, because they need to understand the importance of converting themselves or transforming themselves. We use the term metamorphosis to indicate the transformation. It is not one, just like that, you won't change. It is a metamorphosis. We have learned about caterpillar, larvae, pupae, and then the butterfly. It's a gradual transformation. Similarly, you also need to have a gradual transformation. That is why we use the term metamorphosis for this particular session. So that is where you need to, that is why you need to change to build rapport. So that is the third point. We'll discuss once, we'll just highlight once more. First is a changing students' need. 2 is to help students prepare for future. 3rd, to build better rapport. And 4, to provide personalized learning matching with the student's interest. Yes, this is something you should be able to do. Now, you all know when you take classes and after 1 or 2 tests are there, certain teachers know, this guy, this student, this boy, this girl is good in my subject. You know that because the way the child is interacting, the way the child is following you, the way the child is doing the assignments, or how he or she is getting good scores in the examinations. So you know the instincts, you know the liking, you know the interest of the child. But other than teach, are you able to give a personalized career guidance, a personalized learning? There you will be lacking, because what is in the book, the child knows. He or she has read the book, right? And you also taught the child. Additional information were you able to provide? No. And if the child is not getting that from you, again, the lack of respect is sure to highlight. So this is one more reason why you need to change. I'm just focusing on 4 major reasons only why to change. I hope that part is clear. Now, the second part. Now you might be thinking this guy is only asking questions, why to change, why to change? Is he giving any productive or rather practical methods to change? Yes, I'll be finishing this with the practical explanation only. Now, how to transform? That's a question which will be arising in the minds of all the people who are sitting in front of me. How to transform? Because hearing 1 or 2 points from what I have said, why change, you too might have realized that, yes, there is a need to transform myself, or there is a need for my teachers to transform. In the case of the people who are running the institution, the principals, the vice principals, they might be thinking, yes, there is a need for my teachers to transform themselves from a conventional teacher to a modern age, new age mentor. Now, how to go about that? Now, first and foremost, I'll just tell you one particular word to each of the teachers. Update and upgrade yourself on your particular subject. Now, these are 2 words which you need to understand very carefully. Update and upgrade. You need to do both. That is why I told you the transformation, the gradual transformation is enough. Right? I did not say you need to change this just like that. Next week onwards, you're going to be a mentor. No. You need to change gradually. Transformation has to happen gradually. So that is why we told metamorphosis. So updating and upgrading yourself. Now, first and foremost, let us understand the difference in these 2 things. What is updating and what is upgrading? Now, upgrading is something you do on one particular thing. Suppose I know something about nanophysics. The more I learn about nanophysics, that is upgrading itself. Clear? That is upgrading. Same subject, I am improving my knowledge. Same part, I am improving my knowledge. Clear? So that's upgrading. And now what is updating? Updating is you add on more aspects. I know several things about nanophysics. Now I am going to study about astrophysics. That is updating yourself on the latest developments. Clear? So these are the 2 things you should be doing. As teachers, on your particular subject, you need to update and upgrade yourself. And as I told you earlier, and as I have been repeating continuously, it need not happen in one particular day. Slowly, you take one piece of information at a time, maybe 2 or 3 days in a week, you sit, you try to find out through ChatGPT or Meta AI or whatever, right? You try to find out the latest information. Excuse me. Fine. You try to find out the latest information which are available. You keep a note for this, a good notebook for this, and start updating and upgrading your knowledge. Just read it again and again so that it gets into your mind. And once you have written something today, you have read it in the morning, the next day in the classroom, now suppose you are taking a class for 45 minutes, that particular day, you can stop your class in 35 to 37 minutes. For the next 7 to 8 minutes or 6 to 7 minutes, you focus on what additional knowledge you have gained about that particular subject, and then pass on this information to the students. Now, once you do this, once you start doing this, there will be 2 changes which will be happening. The first thing, you will be starting to become a mentor. You will be transforming yourself into a mentor who has updated and upgraded his or her knowledge. And once you go and download this information in 2 particular class, yes, it gets embedded in the most vital part in your memory. You are not going to forget because you are taught. You are not studied, you are taught. Now, what happens with the students? They will be getting additional knowledge and they will start respecting more the teacher. They will realize this teacher is able to guide me. They will realize this teacher is able to mentor me. And that is what the first transformation happens when you update and upgrade knowledge. And as I told you, take notes, note it down. Next day itself, go and explain to the students. You can do it for 2 days a week. That's enough. I have not said 3 also. 2 days a week, you can spend about 5-6 minutes on this. That won't be a big ask. It is going to help you in the future. Now, every week, you are going to update and upgrade yourself. Imagine what will happen after 1 year. After 1 year, you will become an authority in that particular subject. You will be becoming a good career consultant on that particular subject, at least on the subject you are teaching. Clear? And that is how you transform yourself from your conventional teacher to a professional mentor of the modern age. Right? Now, the second point, focus on student-centered approach. Now, this is very important. Student-centered approach. Now, why do you think we are talking of internship in class 6, 7, etc.? A sort of internship, introducing certain traits when NEP 2020 fully gets implemented. Right? That is student-centered approach. Unfortunately, it wasn't there. So that is why during the NEP 2020, the Ramendra sir might be remembering, we did about 4 to 5 national webinars in 2020 on this particular subject. I was focusing on the transformation in college education. Ramendra sir, etc., were focusing on the school level education. Right? We welcomed it with both hands because this process is going to revolutionize the Indian students. We are going to be at par or above those students who are studying abroad in abroad schools. Honestly speaking, if you are going to, when we are going to implement it fully in the most professional manner, if you are going to implement, we will see a drastic change in our students. It is going to happen, right? So that is where we are going to have a student-centered approach rather than a subject-centered approach. Now, till now, what we are having is subject-centered. We are teaching one particular subject, you finish that. Okay, by December, we finish all our subjects. Then we go for revisions. Then we have about 2 to 3 model exams. We prepare the students for the final board exam. They score high marks. We as teachers are happy because the student has got excellent marks. The school is happy because everybody has got good marks, good grades. We feel happy. But is there a student-centered approach? Yes, we are focusing on academics, which is very important. I'm not belittling it. But more important than that, we need to focus on the student's particular need. Why is one particular student not interested in mathematics? Why is one particular student not interested in Hindi? Why is one particular student is not interested in geography but scores good marks in history? He scores good marks in biology, but unfortunately, chemistry is on the lower side. Why? And that is where the student-centered approach will be very evident. We are going to focus on each teacher who is teaching their particular subject finds out why that student is weak in my subject. And why? Because if it is a genuine lack of interest, if it is something which has got to, suppose his naturalistic intelligence is on the lower side, obviously, biology he might not like. Suppose his linguistic intelligence is on the lower side or very poor, then obviously he or she will find it difficult to study literature. If the logical intelligence is very much low in that particular student, mathematics and physics is a no. That student won't be able to study. It is not the problem of the teacher. It's not the problem of the student. Biologically or psychologically, that student lacks logical thinking. And in such a scenario, in student-centered approach, what you should be doing? You should not be, again, teaching maths and physics. Rather, you should be giving the student certain games or puzzles which will help the student to develop logical thinking. In a gamification way, if you can improve the student's logical thinking, then yes, once the logical thinking process is there, maths and physics will become more easier. So that is where a student-centered approach is necessary. You will be able to do that. You should be able to do that instead of downloading the same subject again and again. You feel that I have taught this student individually. I have brought him to my classroom. I have made him sit after 4 o'clock. I am teaching him again. Still that student is not able to comprehend mathematics. Still that student is not able to understand physics. That is because you are concentrating on your subject and not on the student. And this is where, as mentor, you will be transforming. Identify why. Then we should understand the root cause, the problem. Look, we know what doctors do. They don't give just like that. They understand your problem and then prescribe a medicine. They don't give A to Z every medicine to every patient. So the root cause is, that is why they send you to a lab, they ask you to conduct blood test or urine test or whatever, and then they prescribe apt medicine. That is the best way. Clear? So here also, we should be able to understand the root cause. Audio is not available. Devi sir, your mic.
Allah, very much clear, sir. No issues.
Okay. Then it's there only. Okay, fine.
We'll ask them to check, sir. That,
okay, fine.
iPhone,
So that is where.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So that is where a student-centered approach should be there from your part. So this is also one more method wherein you can transform yourself from a conventional teacher who is subject downloading, who follows a subject downloading style of teaching to a student-centered approach. Clear? So that's the second point. Now, third, integrate technology to teaching. Yes, this is very much important. Integrate technology to teaching. Now, we have been hearing how different technologies are being used even during teaching. Three-dimensional this things is being done in classrooms so that the students get a feel and all these things. Yeah, well, yes, it depends on the financial condition of the school too. I'm not saying every school can do that or every school management can spend huge amount. But yes, whatever the teacher can do, the teacher needs to do. You can contact your IT teacher. You can talk to the IT teacher subject-wise and talk to them how what all effects you can do in your classroom, how you can integrate technology to your teaching methods. Look, 2020, we all integrated technology, right? Till then, we were teaching in the classroom. Later on, we started teaching in front of camera. We integrated technology because there was a need, right? COVID-19 brought this transformation. We can talk bad effects of COVID-19, but this positive aspect. Today, we are sitting in front of a computer and doing webinars because it has been introduced to us right from 2019 only, Google Meet or Zoom or whatever. It was there, but we used it very, very, very little. But now we are very much using it means almost all weekends, I think teachers are having webinars and all those things, right? It's a good effect from COVID-19, 2020, we started this. So we integrated technology. You people sent your assignments via WhatsApp, you took video classes, you send it video. All these things, teachers, many of the teachers were learning for the first time, but you did that. You were able to do that. If you are able to do that, believe me, transforming yourself from conventional teacher to mentor will be more easy. Just your attitude is enough. You just start thinking you can do it, you'll be able to do that. Clear? So integrate technology to your teaching. Now, fourth, developing mentoring skills. That is very important. Developing mentoring skills. Now, what are the basic mentoring skills you should be developing? A couple I will be telling you. Adaptability and resilience is very necessary because I'm not talking of young teachers. There might be certain senior teachers. I'm not talking ill about them. Yes, at the age of 50, adapting to the present stage might be difficult. I am a 50-year-old person. So I know, as compared to a 25-year-old person, certain things, even I too find, in spite of being a mentor, in spite of traveling, in spite of conducting so many training classes, including change management, certain things I too find difficult to change. I too find difficult to adapt. It takes time because over the years, we have been, there is one particular groove we have fallen into. To change from that, it takes time. That's what I told you. 1 or 2 years you can take, 1 or 2 years to transform yourself. Adaptability is very important. Rather than complain about this transformation, rather than complain about mentoring, rather than complain about the technology and even ChatGPT, what we should be doing is we should adapt ourselves to that. So adaptability is very much needed and resilience. Yes, you are going to face certain failures. Yes, students who are well-versed in ChatGPT, they might be asking you certain questions which they already know the answer. These are things are there. Be resilient, right? As we always say in boxing, a person who falls down is not defeated. The defeated person is a person who does not get up after falling. So we should also be resilient. Clear? So we should also be resilient. We will be facing certain problems. We were not that good in technology. Yes, we will find it difficult. We were only good conventional teachers. To transform ourselves, we are facing certain failures. Yes, these things happen. Failures are bound to happen. We should learn from our failures. And there, your resilience should be there. So adaptability and resilience skill is one thing you should be developing. Second, coaching skill. Apart from teaching skill. Now, what is the difference between a teaching skill and a coaching skill? There is a drastic difference. Teaching, you download the information. It's enough. Coaching, you should be able to make the student understand all aspects of this so that the student gets into the practical application. Now, I'll give you another example. Now, there are numerous engineering colleges across the country. Why do the best business houses go to IITs? There are numerous MBA colleges across the country. Why do the best business houses go to IIMs? right? Now, if you check the knowledge-wise, an IIT graduate as well as a government engineering college graduate, most subject-wise knowledge, there, if you are giving a written test, there won't be much difference. But when you get into a problem-solving thing, there is a major difference. The person who is coming from a self-financing or a government engineering college, he knows the subject, but he lacks experience, right? An IIT person, there he is being mentored, not tutored. Hence, what happens? On a regular basis, there are several practical problems which is being given to that student. So, by the time the student finishes the course, he is as good as a 5, 6, 7-year-old experience, 7-year experienced person. That is why you see Microsoft and Google and all these companies coming to IITs, right? All the leading firms getting into IIMs, because there it is focusing on the coaching skill. The teachers, they transform themselves into coaches, wherein the student understands the subject like it being taught by a teacher, and the student develops a skill wherein he knows how to apply those things he has studied. And that is where the coaching skill is necessary. You need to get into a coaching mode. You can discuss with a couple of coaches in your school itself, or when you go for meetings, you find somebody who can transform yourself. Get yourself mentored also. Look, when you need to transform yourself from a conventional teacher to a mentor, if you find certain skills are lacking, then you need to get trained in that. Yeah. So get trained in those things. You can have a one-to-one mentoring also. It is there in, I think, almost all states, in all towns. You have good, means major towns, there are coaches who can. I'm not telling all those who tell coaches are not coaches. Believe me, there are several people who call themselves a life coach, this coach, that coach, but many are not that well versed. But there are good coaches across. You find them, you talk with them, you get yourself into a mode wherein you develop your coaching skill, right? Then active listening skill. This is very important, right? It's a very tiresome job, teacher's job. I know that. You start at 9:30 or 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock, depending on state to state, school to school. You are very fresh. The same freshness will not be there at 1:30 to 2:30. I can understand. We are all human beings, right? And then your listening is bound to get affected. The student comes and tells you, ma'am, I told you yesterday itself. And you are telling, no, you are not told. Sometimes the student might be bluffing, but at times the student might have told you, but it might have been during the evening session or a post-noon, wherein you were tired and your listening had been affected. So, active listening skill is something you need to develop. These are certain things: active listening, coaching skill, adaptability, resilience, flexibility. Yes, you need to be flexible also. And I think that is something which is being focused nowadays in teachers training. I know that. So I'm not going to focus that much on that. Flexibility is there in the classroom sessions, how you are going to take sessions, etc. Flexibility part is being highlighted. I know that. I have been to several schools where I have taken this session. So I know flexibility is being taken nowadays. So all these skills you need to develop. So that is why I told you, I'm reminding you once again, this is not going to happen overnight. It will take 1.5, 2 years. But you need to show a gradual progress. Clear? And finally, how to transform yourself. Finally, the fifth point, empowering teaching to design innovative teaching techniques. Innovative teaching techniques. What are they? Now, we'll discuss one more thing. We are talking of CBSE, ICSE, etc. And we all know there is the international syllabus also. Now, have we seriously understood the difference between an international syllabus student and our students? Look, conventionally, Indian teaching methodology is knowledge-based. We download lots of knowledges. Whereas international, it is not knowledge-based. They depend on internship, practical practice, and they depend on projects, etc. That is why their students who are equivalent to our class 7 or class 8, they have so many projects. And for us, projects is something part of scoring marks. And there are agencies who do projects for students nowadays in certain cities. And there are some parents who do the projects. I do know these things, right? Because it is given, it is being given to score some grades. Whereas in international syllabus, it is not for grades. It is to develop that particular skill in the student, right? So these are the innovative techniques we also need to focus. Designing techniques you need to focus. Yes, I would ask the management, to be liberal with certain teachers who have got really good innovative, if they come up with good innovative techniques, you can discuss with the management. And if you feel it is good for the school, good for the students, and good for the teacher to become a mentor by introducing these things, I would say to the management, yes, encourage those things. But I would suggest teachers do not do it just like that. You need to discuss with the management. You need to discuss with your team, and you find out if there are any mistakes there. You need to address the mistake and then go for the innovative techniques. You can design new methods of, rather than the conventional write. You can design new methods of assignments. You can design, everything can be designed innovatively. So that is also something you need to do. So these are the 5 points which I would like to discuss on how to transform yourself. Clear? Now I think why change is being addressed and how to transform. And believe me, why change, I told only 4 points, but how to transform, I told 5 points, which is one more, right? So that's it. It's 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Now we'll get into the Q&A part, question answers. Now participants, you can type it. Revisa will be asking the questions and I'll be answering them one by one.
Yeah, Rajesh sir, very informative, sir. Probably the metamorphosis, the true meaning of metamorphosis, and the need of the R is like transformation, transforming probably the teachers or whomsoever individuals in the education industry from the conventional teacher to new age mentor. Probably new age, when it comes to new age, after hearing the words, sir, from your presentation, I could make out new age, look for smart teacher, probably smart, the mentor, probably one who should have these mentor should understand how the generation gap has come down to 6 years. Probably this is a very important note, dear participants. Generation gap has come down to 6 years, and attention span also, it has come down over the years. Now attention span also in the classroom, it is 6 minutes, and these two are the major challenges for the conventional teacher. See, if you are a mentor, probably I strongly feel you can do wonders. And even the true the education, what the true education must achieve, if you ask me, what the sir's presentation, I could see that in a nutshell, I wish to put it there, what the true education must achieve. So the point number 1 is behavioral changes. That is what the mentor really look for. And the right attitude, dear participants, and resilience, as sir rightly mentioned. And to add on, emotional stability. Probably my appeal to all the the participants to focus more upon EQ of yours, as well as under you whomsoever the stakeholders comes. And the next is the ability to see a bigger picture. You should, the true education must achieve. And the fight, not flight, means to a foreign land. Fight, not flight to a foreign land. It is brain drain I'm focusing upon. And a civic conscience. Probably this is important for probity and justice. And be the voice of disadvantaged. This is what our as a mentor you should give the true meaning to the education, and increase footprints of influence in the world. See, these are the few the points should be achieved through education. Sir has put it all this in. Probably I could see building rapport, personalized learning. It is 21st century skill. Probably we could see in the classroom, as sir mentioned, dear participants, we could see hummingbirds and ostriches in the classroom. So we cannot teach both the same. So that this is where the focus is on, and focus on student-centered approach. Very valid point. And integrating technology. Probably without technology, dear the participants, without technology we cannot be successful in our life, and teaching and coaching the difference, empowering teachers, and innovative teaching techniques also, sir, focused upon. And here, one small innovative what we use in our school, I would like to highlight to be a mentor, dear participants. Here in the classroom, when we ask questions, probably only few, those who know the answer will raise the hand. For that, that is not the true education, because we should involve all actively in the process, teaching learning process. For that, what we do, two bowls we keep in the classroom, one bowl with the names written on the joysticks or the ice cream sticks will be in the one bowl. And the first period, the teacher one who goes, pick it up, the joystick, whomsoever name comes, they ask the question and they put it in the next bowl. So like that, the whole 8 periods or 9 periods, whole day, all the kids will get the chance, and the prior whomsoever, all the teachers will come to know. So this is how one of the teaching technique we are using, dear parents. Like this, many innovative teaching techniques you too can focus upon. And now I'll pick up quickly the questions. On the few questions I could see, sir, here, who is this? Bhavana, Mrs. Bhavana Dholam, asking questions, sir. One of the biggest challenge that we face is the new teaching methodology is not understood by the parents. They look for the same old methods and same rote learning. What's your thoughts on? So what you can put it, sir?
Fine. Look, that's a very good question, and it's very valid too, because honestly speaking, we cannot say it's a homogeneous crowd as far as the parents are concerned. They come from different backgrounds, different educations, different cultural backgrounds, different types of professions in the same school, same class student itself, right? 9th standard, there are about 40 students or 35 students, and the parents, they vary. Their thought process also vary. It is very difficult to get into a homogeneous way of thinking. Here also, it needs to be imparted in a gradual manner. I would suggest that one particular day, especially it should be in May or on June 1st, when the school is reopening, on that particular day or that particular weekend, Saturday, you need to have a parent-teacher association meeting, or what you call your open house or something like that. And the only focus there should be on the teaching methodology changes you are going to introduce. You need to educate the parents. It is a fact that particular teacher, whatever she has told, it is 100% correct. Many of the parents do not accept new style of teaching methodology. And whether you are using augmented reality or virtual reality, or you are using some sort of technology, or even offline training teaching methods, if you are changing from the conventional mode, these parents are reluctant to accept. Now, again, we should understand the root cause. Why? We should be getting into the parents' shoe. Why is that parent not able to accept this? Then if we check out, maybe the education of the parent is different. Maybe the attitude of the parent might be different. Look, individually, we cannot change one by one. But if majority feel this is good, we go with that. You forget the minority, right? Maybe if 2 or 3 people are saying bad, you leave them. But if majority are complaining, then you need to educate the parents. And that is why I told you, if in this particular things, at the beginning of the academic year itself, in the first weekend, I told weekend because nowadays both parents are working in most places. So Saturdays is ideal. At least some may come. I'm not saying everybody. Some may come. And you need to talk to the parent, have a discussion. You need to download something and then have a discussion. You need to inform them that you are going to have a transformation in the teaching methodology. That is one thing. Second, you need to explain why the need has come to change the teaching methodology. And third, which is very important from a parent's perspective, if you do this, your child is going to be benefited like this, and which will help this child not only to study, but it will also help the child to advance in future careers. Now, that from a parent's view, that parent will be having a selfish intent, something which is beneficial for the child. So these three parts, if the management and the teachers are able to imbibe into the mind of the parents, then this reluctance can be, or this parents who are against this, to a large extent, we can address this problem.
Okay, okay. Sir, probably you are rightly answered that question, sir. The biggest challenge, of course, in all the schools, even as a head of the institution, I could face the same. But what I would like to add on, sir, as you rightly mentioned, the empowerment sessions should be conducted. Probably it should be continuous, the process. When we do
Yes.
continuous process, the challenge is the parents will not come to school. So what I worked out as a innovative, probably the practice you can innovative practice you can take it, Ms. Bhavana and others, the participants. We do in a school by name, it is student-led conference. Student-led conference is a session. Students are allowed, means they prepare in a group. Prior to that, they prepare models, they prepare in the school, and they present in front of the parents. That is one way. And even there we add how teachers are teaching, what methodology followed in the school, that is presented by the teachers, presented by the students using technology or supporting aids. Using that, they present before the parents. With my experience, it worked really well. Probably you can also try out, instead of directly calling for parents orientation programs or empowerment sessions. Instead of that, through students presentation, if we keep, then definitely through students, if we do, it will work well. This is what I would like to add on. And moving to the next question, sir, the teacher's readiness to transform is challenging. How to resolve? This question is from Miss Janet. Miss Janet, yeah, please, sir.
Fine. Well, yes, as I told you, it's more challenging with experienced teachers because they have fallen into a groove and it is very difficult to transform. As I told you, I'm not blaming them. It happens with age. As I told you, it is happening with me also, right? As I told you earlier, a person like me who is 25-year-old and a person like and me myself 50, the change is more difficult for people like me, right? It's a big challenge. Now, how to go about that? Now, updating and upgrading, I told you, weekly 2 days. You can update and upgrade, take a note. At least 15 minutes you can spend each weekend, each weekly, 2 days, 15 to 20 minutes, update and upgrade your knowledge. Next day, you are going to introduce that into the classroom. That whatever you learned, whatever you understood about that particular subject, the additional information you are going to give in the class after your means regular class is over, right? So that is one thing. I don't think that will be a big challenge. The biggest challenge you are going to face might be two things. One, those people who are not tech savvy, integrating technology will be a challenge. It is there, right? Because if you do not have that much liking to technology, you are forced to use technology, then there is a challenge. But you should understand, in today's time, we need to be tech savvy if you are going to mentor today's means we will rather say by the time they are born itself, they are having their mobile phone there, right? So we are going to mentor such students who know everything about advanced technology and all the latest gadgets, all the latest applications. They do know that. Clear? So it's a challenge, yes, but you don't have another option. That's the main thing. Look, when you are pushed to the wall, there are only two things: either take the punches or start hitting back. Right? Now we are pushed to the wall. We don't have an option. Either I fall down, I means there's a serious threat to my job, or I start changing. And that is why I told you adaptability and resilience. Right? So technology related, there will be a problem. And yes, mentoring skill related and coaching related skill development, that will be a problem because that is not going to happen overnight. it will take time. So that is why I told you it's a real challenge. True. That is one reason I gave you 1.5 to 2 years time to transform yourself. But do not expect to transform yourself after 1 year. Start practicing from tomorrow, or rather from today, and or rather from 7:30 itself. Right? If you start doing that and it becomes a habit for you, yes, it's a challenge, but you will be able to overcome that. Clear?
Yes, sir. So teachers' readiness to transform is challenging. Probably very valid, the inputs you have given, sir. And definitely, if they follow, it is very useful. But again, as a leader, this challenge I too faced the teacher readiness. But probably during COVID time, they have realized and they are forced to, go for transformation. That is what we have noticed. Means that COVID has taught us a lesson that the somewhere push or force, external force required for the teacher. Unless we do, they cannot. So that's what I strongly feel, sir. These teachers, to be selection process itself, we should do accordingly. And the second thing is the where I have tried is appraisal, sir, continuous appraisal for the whole year. So based on that salary hike also, we should link. Probably this will definitely will help. Miss Janet, you can work upon. And moving to the next question, sir, Mr. Sandeep Kumar Goswami. So his question is, how can we work out with problematic students? Probably this, I could see the learning difficulties, like children who are not willing to learn, and even parents are not supporting us. What's your thoughts on, sir?
Yes. That's again a challenge. Now, problematic students. Now, what are the two types of problems you'll be facing? Let's face that. There are two types of problematic students. One is wherein the student genuinely has a problem, some sort of learning disability, or I wouldn't say learning disability in high school. It might be there in the lower thing. In the high school, suppose you are saying the parent might have addressed to some extent. But in spite of that, as I told you earlier, that is why I do multiple intelligence tests for the students, because I need to find the intelligence which is on the lower side and which is on the prominent side. And whichever intelligence is on the prominent side, for any person, for any student, to study that particular subject, it is easy. To focus on a career in that particular subject, it is easy. To develop a skill wherein that particular intelligence is necessary, it's easy. And if you think on the other way, if that particular student lacks one particular intelligence, suppose the problem is this child doesn't study or is not able to cope up with mathematics and physics, or rather mathematics alone. Now, first thing the teacher should be doing is discuss with the physics teacher whether the child is good in physics. Because if the child is good in physics, then that means logical thinking is not that bad. Clear? Maths and physics are the two subjects where logical thinking is more evidently displayed. Yes, in chemistry too, but we wouldn't rate it as much as mathematics or physics. And first thing the teacher has to do is discuss with the physics teacher. And if the teacher finds out physics that child is doing well, then again discuss with the physics teacher in the staff room, which all part of physics that child is good. If the logical application part, all those things the child is good, then the teacher needs to focus why the child is not studying mathematics. A couple of days, personalized talk, personalized discussion might help you get certain hints. Maybe the method in which the teacher is teaching, the child is not able to comprehend, or rather the style of teaching, the child is not rather able to comprehend, or the child is new to your school, the child was used to a different style of teaching in the previous school. Now the child is finding it difficult, etc. The problem you will be able to understand. Clear? So here you can change your teaching methodology. Now there is another problem. The child genuinely lacks that particular intelligence. Even physics, the child is bad. Then you know there is a problem in the logical thinking process. Here I would suggest the entire team, physics and mathematics teacher, to sit together and address the child's problem by giving, not downloading the subject, by helping the subject develop that particular skill. And here you need to have a personalized discussion with the parent of the child. You should tell the parent, look, these two subjects or this particular thing, the child is finding it difficult because we feel there is some sort of problem in the logical thinking process. We are giving certain assignments to the child, certain puzzles to the child, but it will be beneficial if you took the child to a psychologist who can address this problem. Don't tell a psychiatrist, because even today, even in 2024, when you mention the word psychiatrist, parents are not accepting it. They feel psychiatrist is a person to whom you should be going when you are some sort of mental problem or something like that. They do not understand that, right? So a psychologist or a student counselor who is a psychologist will be fine. Take the child to that place, right? Here, it is a genuine problem. Now, the second problem you might face is that there is an attitudinal issue. The child is not studying because the child doesn't intend. The child is good, thinks well. In all other things, the child is good. Logical thinking also good. But maths and physics, that child is not studying. Or maths, that particular child is not studying. Here, there is an attitudinal issue. And in such a problematic children, you have to take the confidence of the teacher, of the principal and the parent, and talk to them a bit sternly itself. There is an attitudinal issue. You need to address this. Clear? So these are the two problematic areas you'll be facing. In second thing, you need to talk to the parents in a bit sterner manner. No other way.
Okay, sir, you have rightly mentioned, sir. Probably here they have agreed. We need to transform ourselves according to the needs of the students so that we can bring the transformation in students. Sir. So probably problematic. You have covered the whole area, sir, where the problems will come and how they can address. Probably, I strongly feel, sir, as an educator, we should have the knowledge of all the learning difficulties and where the learning gaps are. Probably learning difficulties when it comes are learning disorders. So probably if they have the leaders or the teachers, if they have the first-hand knowledge, probably they can address these problematic children. These days we find in the classroom, one is hyperactivity. The second is in the learning disorders, we could see, dyslexia, dysgraphia, and
Yes.
attention-seeking disorder. These are the things probably commonly seen. I think teachers or leaders should get the knowledge and how to address with the help of, that is what even CBSE and even other boards strongly recommended school counselors. So that is what need of the hour. So through that they can work upon. So I feel, sir. And the next question, probably one more, probably we can make it as a last question, sir. All appreciation, the messages flooding in for your session, sir.
Devi sir, any particular question you have got, you can also ask.
Yes, why not, sir? I have the question. Probably you would like to add upon, sir. Here, sir, when discussing the importance of change, probably as we all know, change is the only constant. You all agree with me. See, when discussing the importance of change, you mentioned that high school teachers should help students to prepare for the future. The question is, should this preparation starts at the 10th grade or only in the 12th grade? So can you throw light on this, sir?
Fine, sir. That's a good question, sir. Well, sir, I would suggest it is not only in 10th, the stage has to start in 6th standard or 7th standard.
Yes.
Right? But then you can't focus on career guidance then, because the child is not able to grasp so many things. So that is why we are going to introduce about 20 traits to them, according to NEP, because it gets a fit. Right from 9th standard, sir, this needs to be done, not 12th. Because in 12th, what happens, sir, is that after 10, the child has made a decision, first decision. And then after 12, if you are asking the child to change that subject, it's very tough. I'll be honest with you, sir. Last month, when I was in Ernakulam, I was there for one day. There was
Okay.
I used to travel like this, where when there are 7 to 8 appointments, I go, I stay, people come and meet me. Right? One particular child, that child had finished literature degree from FLU, English and Foreign Language. And the
Okay.
child has come with me with a request that she doesn't, it's a girl child. She is not interested in pursuing PG in English. So I
Okay.
did this thing, multiple intelligence test, and I found out that the child had excellent interpersonal intelligence, and logical
Okay.
intelligence also was good. I gave her a suggestion. Look, if you are not interested in pursuing PG in English, I'll give you another option. How about doing MBA? She was very happy. And why I'm telling you this is that 2 days back she called me. Next year she is going to get enrolled in UK MBA.
Wow.
No. The thing is, what I'm telling is that why it needed after degree. I would suggest at 10th level itself, if the child had been focused, this particular
Yeah.
issue will not be there. Not every child gets this opportunity to talk to somebody, right? And many, what they do, even if they don't like, they study that subject, and their career also will not be on the rise. So I will suggest in class 10 itself or 9 itself, this has to happen.
Okay, okay. I agree, sir. Completely agree with your point. If they start early, it's too good. At least from probably grade 9, if they start, it's really good. And one more gap I could see, sir, as an educator of K-12, the classes, the gap from class 10 to 11, there is a big gap.
Yes.
Big gap for even it comes, it applied what we are discussing is to the coaching, competitive coaching. Probably if they start at the 8th or 9th, will definitely will help their participants. You can probably can start career counseling at least minimum by class 8, and even the competitive coaching also you should focus upon. So this is what the speaker saying. And sir, that one more last question, sir. Can we take
Yeah.
last question?
Yeah.
Now it is 7:15. So
Okay.
one more question, sir. It is, you mentioned the importance of building rapport, but there are other ways to achieve this. Why is being a mentor is better strategy?
True.
Can you throw
Yeah.
light on?
Yes, sir. Yes, that is true. Now, there are other ways to build a rapport. You be friendly with the students, adolescent students. You speak in a language which they are comfortable. Talk on
Okay.
subjects they are comfortable. Building rapport is good. That is true. I do agree. But,
Okay.
sir, it's in the conventional mode of teaching that was enough. But in today's time, when students are expecting more, you might be knowing now in class 11 and all, students are talking of certain courses which teachers are, look, there are students who are asking me certain courses in depth which I am not well aware. I will be honest with you. They are so updated, right? When they are so updated, and then nowadays schools are also encouraging alumni to come and talk to the students. And from there also, the students are getting lot of information. Now, in such a scenario, if the student finds that the teacher is lacking in-depth knowledge, or rather the basic knowledge itself, apart from the bookish knowledge, my teacher doesn't know anything about his or her subject, then the rapport, it's not only with that particular student, it spreads, as I told you earlier, and it will spread across the school. And the teacher will naturally feel demoralized, and it will affect his or her performance also. So that is a major issue. So to gain respect also, yes, you can pat the student, you can be company with them, you can have a friendly relation, rapport is there, but inside they will not look away. Apart from all this subject-wise, guidance-wise, we need not depend on this teacher because he or she is not good in that. We will depend on that teacher. Clear? It is that they won't tell you openly. So why create such a problem? So there also you need to improve your mentoring skill if you are to develop a good rapport as well as gain respect.
Very true, sir. Probably building rapport plays very important role, and I could make out, sir, mentor should have the qualities. What qualities? So that you have thrown light upon. in this connection, probably I would like to add on, sir, to conclude this, the discussion on metamorphosis. I think, dear participants, quite long. It's been 1 hour 20 minutes. You all, most of the participants are there. Thank you so much, dear participants. See, there is for a mentor, probably 21st century pedagogy to be focused in this. What and all it covers 21st century pedagogy, if you see, it includes, it should develop thinking skills, probably that is the 21st century pedagogy, and it should build technological, information, and as well as media influences. This is one of the very important media literacy. Digital and media literacy is one of the 21st century skills to be focused. And the 21st century pedagogy says to us, teach contextually. Most of us, like we don't do this contextually to teach. And 21st century pedagogy are interdisciplinary. That is what very much see that when we are teaching mathematics, science, or social science to be taught, in the sports, mathematics to be taught, probably to focus, and 21st century pedagogy work collaboratively, probably collaboration to be focused, and 21st century uses project-based learning. Probably, it's like I should say, what we use, the common methodology for teaching. It's a lecturing method will not work. Probably project-based methodology. 21st century pedagogy fosters problem solving. One of the 21st century skills, problem solving, creativity, and reasoning skills. And the 21st century pedagogy assessed transparently. Probably these are the areas, if you understand and if you focus, probably you can be a better mentor. That is what the gist of today's the session our Sri Rajesh sir has thrown light upon, and very useful session, sir. Very productive, I should say.
Thank
we
you,
could
thank
make
you.
out
Let me just conclude one thing. It was nice talking to all of you. And
Yes,
as
sir.
usual, Ravi sir was at his best. Look, any particular webinar, if
Yes, sir.
the moderator is not on the same wavelength with the speaker, for the participants, it will be very difficult. It will be very boring. As far as
Yes.
I am concerned, with Ravi sir, I am very comfortable because we have been doing for UN volunteers for 3 to 4 programs.
Yes.
we have been doing together.
Yes. Yes, sir.
He has been moderating for several programs, and he understands the speakers well, and he puts in all his effort. And apart from that, he also provides his own certain valuable information, which is very essential because he is also an experienced academician. So he can also throw light on certain aspects, which is very welcome. So it was nice talking to you people. A genuine thanks to each and every participant, because as Ravi sir has told, we started at around 6:65 and we told we'll be concluding by 7. And even at 7:23, most of them are still there. And that shows the kind of interest they have shown in this. And that shows the kind of dedication these academicians and teachers and principals are there towards the student community, towards the society as well. And that is something we all need to appreciate. Hats off to each and every participant. Hats off to Ravi sir. Hats off to the technology people who are means helping us conduct this webinar. And a genuine thanks to Ashish sir and Ramendran sir for organizing such webinars. Please do organize regular webinars like this on certain other important subjects, so that the teaching community is benefited, the school is benefited, the students are benefited. Ultimately, the nation as such is benefited. Thank you very much. And if at all, if anybody needs to contact me, you can WhatsApp me. I am providing my number. Why I told you WhatsApp is that at times when you call, I might not be able to pick up phone because I might be in some session. Earlier times, till evening only session. But nowadays, with the introduction of webinar, we do have sessions evening or late night also. So rather, I would prefer getting a WhatsApp. Yes, if you need to talk to me, I will give you a convenient time when we can both talk. You can WhatsApp me and ask. The number is given below, 944705846. That's my number. Thanks for all the wonderful questions you people have asked, and thanks for all the appreciative words you are means pouring in the chat box.
Yes.
Thank you very much once again, all of you.
Sir, you have thanked all of us. So it's time to thank you, sir. Probably you are the, the point here, point of attraction. And see the session quite long session. That too, sir, weekend. This is Saturday weekend. Probably their family time will be there. But in spite of all the participants stayed till the end. So that is because of your presentation, sir, your inputs, your experience, your expertise. We hats off to you, sir. So you have presented so well. A real transformation probably you have brought in today. Today, from the promoting teachers to the new age mentors, the gurus. So you have taken to their level, and on behalf of United Nations volunteers, India, big thanks to you, sir, for your very productive session. Thank you so much, sir. Many more session. We love to have it in the future. That is what I could see the flooding. The learning is weekend, and one is saying the metamorphosis about the one again one of the participants saying metacognitive metamorphosis session. So such a good kind words by all the participants, and thanking once again, big thanks to you, sir. And one more, like I should thank our founder of this Puma Education Trust, and that is this United Nations volunteers. And rare, what restlessly, probably always, whenever whomsoever they approaches, he is doing Sri Aziz sir, whatever sort of support. So big thanks to you, sir, Aziz sir, for your the support, and also all UNV leaders and the principals, academic coordinators, teachers, and the technical team from even from Mangalore. They are technical team behind Miss Shilpa and team. So thank you so much for all your support. Many more sessions we will be holding, and link will be shared later. One of the participants asking for the link, feedback link. Of course, we will share, dear participant, and sir has shared the number. Please contact, because sir is into this field from more than 2 decades in the HR, specialized in career counseling. So you can rely upon, and you can contact sir and have sessions and make this country vibrant, as our APJ Abdul Kalam says. With the shloka, you would like to conclude. Sir, can we conclude, sir?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, sir. We will conclude, sir, with my favorite shloka. Akhanda Mandalakaram, Vyaptam Mena Characharam, Tatpadam Darshitam Mena, Tasmaya Shri Guruve Namaha. Pranams to all. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.